Hello everyone and welcome to Technology Bytes Web and Graphic Design. A lot of people ask me in my daily life what goes into graphic and web design. Jay, what is really behind it? What am I paying for? What is the finesse? What is it that you guys do? So we have a project that just came up that we have to work on internally here for one of the sites that we're going to be running, and I decided that I'm going to let you guys come along and see just what it takes to create some web stuff. So here we go. Okay, so the website we're designing is for the Phoenix Rising Entertainment website, the College Dorm Room, which is an adult entertainment website that we own. Now, let's go to mysexyuniversity.com, which is the domain we bought. Okay, now this isn't going to work. It'll be some time before the site becomes live, but we need to put something here, something that grabs the viewer. So what we're going to do is we're going to build an image and something to bring the viewer in. So here we go. First things first, this isn't going to work. So I've opened up our Fireworks, trusty software there, and I downloaded a very large image of a college dorm hallway. Okay, here it is. Okay, not bad, not bad. But we want to do something with it. It doesn't work with itself. So let's go through and apply some filters. I like the splat plugin because it gives a nice edge. Now realize this photo is 4272 by 2848 pixels. So if things run a little slow, realize the reason it's doing that is because this is a gigantic picture. And when this picture, even when it's scaled, will cover any monitor there is. So we've just got to go through. Alright, so here's the photo. Okay, there we go. That's good, yeah. There's the edges. So let's add some edge to it. A little more. I'm still not feeling it. Let's get a little extreme here. Say, okay, 300. That's a little too much. Back up. All right. So I like this. Give it a minute to change. Now you'll notice it takes a little longer than it normally would, but that's because I'm actually recording this video, and the recording software is going to cause it to lag a little bit. Also, another thing is we're dealing with such a gigantic photo that the process actually takes a little bit for it to manifest. So now we have our edges, and it's looking pretty good, but if you were to put this on a background of a website, one of the things we try to do is we try to draw focus away from the viewer. There's too much going on in this background. So we need to give it what we call bokeh. And you'll have to ignore the noises. That's me, of course. Even though it's this hour, it's never after hours for us. We're always doing something. So we're going to go into bokeh, and bokeh is going to give us a little bit of a depth perception. Now that's a little too extreme. I'm not feeling that. So let's go in here and look at the vignetting here. Let's see what we got to choose from here. That's not bad. Depending on the lens, I mean, you have to realize that when we're doing this stuff every day, sometimes we can design 200 different items. Sometimes we design one item. It just depends on the variations of what we're doing. We can check out different designs. We just kind of go through and, oh, if we like it, then yeah, we like it. Like, that kind of works, but I'm not feeling what I need to for this, especially with the edging. So let's go back up here. See, that's pretty good. I don't feel like we're too much is being done here. So let's see how that looks. It's going to take a second. Okay, so now we have our bokeh applied with our edges. I feel like we should have put the bokeh on top of the edges. See if that. I don't like the way that looks, so we're gonna change it back, I think. Okay, so now it's changed back, and there we have it. We have the college dorm hauled away with the dorm room doors and some nice bokeh and edges, but we're still needing something. Okay, let's go into here and let's add some text. All right, let's let them know that the college dorm room is going to be here. Okay, so let's write the future home of the college dorm room. Okay. Okay, I don't know about you, but that's just not working for me. We need to adjust it. Another thing I just want to say real quick, oftentimes we have a plan, a design plan for the clients, but since we are the client, I can pretty much do whatever I want here. The future home of the college dorm room. I like it, but it's too small. So let's do, we'll go outside of the normal parameters here, and we'll, okay. So that's a little too big, but so you see where I'm going with this. 275. Okay, that's better. Now it's hard to read, and it doesn't really say anything. Me as a site visitor, it's not really, it's not saying, hey, something cool here. So it's a college, so I'm thinking we need to symbolize a little bit on the college dorm room. So let's go to the web. All right. I've got a nice font place here. And I've got some nice letter sweater fonts. See, a lot of what we do in graphic design, just so you all know, is research. Hours and hours of research and examples and checking things out and finding things that work. It's not just slapping two things together and then charging you for it. There's a lot that goes into it. We have to research, see if it works, if it doesn't. So I found some really cool letter sweater fonts that I think will look really good. Specifically the Friday Night Lights, the College Heavy Outline, and especially the Universal College. I think these could come in handy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and download. We go through tons and tons of files, just so you know, just beyond words on the amount of files that we download and throw away and whatnot. So we just for some reason this, okay, so there we go. There's that, and we need the other one. So that's all three of them. Okay, so they're installed. Now before I ran this tutorial, I've already done all this. I'm actually working in reverse here, but I just wanted you all to see what goes into this. So we've got the fonts. Okay. And there they are. Okay. So we have to actually make modifications to our system, but because it's a design system, we can always wipe it at any moment and back it up. So we click here and we install the fonts into our system. Okay, so the fonts are installed and we've reloaded Fireworks. Let's give this a little bit of a jump. Don't know about you, but that's kind of speaking to me a little bit more, but there's still something about it that's not quite there yet. This is better. Now I'm starting to feel this. Okay, but it's still very hard to read, so let's give it a little bit of a background. One of the coolest things about this web design and graphic design is we have so many options for so many different clients. I mean, we can do almost anything. So when you call us up and you say, can you do this? Yeah, we can. And we just have to figure out how we're going to do it. So now we have our font shown on black matte background. All right. And as you can see, it's already selected because I was here earlier. This is a ghost glow. This is the setting we use here. It's called the ghost text. And then of course I've adjusted the radius a little bit. See, you'll see the difference there. And undo that. Give it more radius. So I like this. This works for me. And I've seen it on a black matte text. So I'm confident that it's going to look good. But I just want to double check. So I'm going to go out a little bit further. Kind of slide it over here. I don't know all that crap was, but alright, so that's that. So let's hit OK. And there we have it. I can see this. It grabs me. It's collegey. It's blurred, so it's not distracting background. Now let's move this around a little bit. Okay, the future home of the college dorm room. I like it. It's functional and it works. But I want to make these letters bigger. Let's go say 290 font. Let the machine think for a second. And there we have it. Nice big font with plenty of stuff on the bottom for anything we want. Okay, so we've got the front page picture with the future home of the college dorm room. Doesn't say a whole lot. Doesn't say what it's about. There's no labeling or no branding. However, we can change that. What better way to advertise the girls that are going to be on this site than with college pennants? Okay, so another trip out to the web. As you can see, I've pulled up a search in Google for college pennant PNGs. We work with a lot of portable network graphics in this business, and PNGs are a big thing for us. Here they come. But here's something else that you have to know about these PNGs specifically. Very important is that not all PNGs will work. This comes down to the whole thing about researching. I need to find a pennant here that I can change myself, make my own, without causing any problems with anyone in the future, and without not stressing myself out too much. So like this one, this would be out. This one would be out. This would be out. It's too much work. So we need to just kind of go through them until something just kind of jumps out at us. And we say, hey, like that's good, but not quite. All right. Keep going down here, looking around. Okay. Like, look at this. Let's take a look at this one. It's got alumni written on it. I like that. Okay, so we've got a nice image, but it's got like a shadow and a glow on it, but that's okay. We can fix that, and we can get rid of all this, and we can put our own names in it. We can put our Phoenix Rising seal here, leave alumni in there, and put the girls' names here, and then we can put the pennants on the page. So let's, all right, so what we want to do is we want to look at the image. Okay, there's the image. Oh, it's very big. We've got plenty of pixels to work with. So we want to save the image. We'll save it to the desktop. Now, just so you know, I already had the image, so that's why I didn't save it for real. But okay, so we've got a cool image here. However, this is where it gets tricky with design. This is where we get the big bucks. We can't use this on that image. It's not going to work that way. There's going to be quite a bit of modification that has to take place. So let's first start with this, the seal. Actually, no, you know what? I take that back. Let's start with the shadow. Use our magic wand. So if I cut this, as you can see, it's not going to work. There's going to be pieces left because the dotted area is the area it's going to cut. So let's give this much more tolerance. Okay, see, it's changing a little bit. Oh, getting closer. Closer. All right, I like that. Let's cut it. Ah, okay. Now we will unselect it and check it on a black background. The reason we do this is because if it works on a black background, chances are it's going to work on anything because any anomalies are going to show up. Now, it doesn't matter because we're going to put it on that busy picture even though it's blurred, so we're not going to see all of the defects. But this is pretty good. I like this. I'm comfortable with this. Unfortunately, Mr. Haver-Dennis Silligam is not going to work for me. So we need to do something about that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to erase the seal on this flag. Don't worry about the background. The background's going to look kind of funky. We'll make a hole. It doesn't even have to look good. Like, I mean, literally, this can look like crap. Okay, so now we've got this big smudge in it. Okay, let's put the canvas back to transparent. I like to work with a transparent. Okay, so Jay, how can we put that flag up? That's not going to look right, is it? No, it's not. So here's what we do. We take our paint bucket. And we can't fill it with this color because it won't match. Let's go to the matching color. And then, oh, but you see the white lines? But watch this. Ah, hit it again. Now, the seal is gone. Okay, that's good. So, we have ourselves a nice pennant with a seal missing. We can put our Phoenix Rising seal on here. So, let's go open up our Phoenix Rising work file that we use. We'll let it load. Phoenix Rising work file. Okay, there it is. This is our logo that we designed for the company. But as you can see, we were to highlight all of this. Oh, it didn't work. Drop our layers down so we can see what we're doing here. Actually, you know what? I have another way we can do this. Let's do this. It's quicker. We're going to import the actual Phoenix Rising seal. Just to warn you, you may see nudity in this tutorial because we do deal with adult entertainment content, so sometimes you'll see stuff in our computers that, but everyone's website is separate, so it just depends on what we're dealing with. So here's the Phoenix Rising seal. It's a little big, so let's do a 311 by 304. All right. I don't know about you, but that's a little too loud. I liked the way if you remember, we had the black, like a stamp looking. Let's see if we can't make our logo look like that stamp or close to it. So we've got some work ahead of us, but that's what we do here, so no big deal. All right, so here's the work file. First things first, it's way too colorful, but let's see if we can look up close at what we're dealing with. All right, so we got a lot going on here. First things first, we've got a group of objects here. Let's make them black. So they're all black. Copyright. Make that black. Sometimes files we already have to be modified extremely, and that's the nature of designs. We have a good design, but it's not one that we can use everywhere until it's modified. So what you're seeing me now is I'm taking all of the work we've put in, and I'm going ahead and I'm modifying it for the next stage. Everything's looking good. We just got to go ahead and unlock this. Okay. This has got a nice bevel on it, but we can't use the bevel where we're going. So the bevel's got to go. And now we need to get rid of the black in the Phoenix. We got to delete this mask is what we got to do. Apply it before it goes. Yep. Okay, now it's just a bitmap. Now we're just dealing with a straight bitmap. Okay, now we're getting somewhere with this. It's a little too much involved there. Keep going a little bit. Some of it's guesswork. We just kind of play with the margins as we go. It's not going to be a perfect picture, not with what we're working with. But that should give us a little bit of a understanding of what we're kind of going with here. Okay. So like I said, we're definitely not perfect in any way with this when it comes to this graphic, but it's not going to matter. Let's get rid of the outer tangle there, the circle. Okay. All right. We need to make the Phoenix black too, so let's add a color fill to the Phoenix. Let's make it a stamp mode. Didn't really do anything, but all right. So now we've got that. Now what we want to do is we want to draw an ellipse around this whole thing. We won't really need a, I'm not going to need a fill. Okay. We want to manipulate this so that they kind of line up with the original graphic, and as you can see, that's not going to do that, so we're going to scale it a little bit as best we can. Let's see if that's better. That's a little small. Remember, everything in this is completely just got to work with every piece we have constantly. There is no right or wrong measurement. You literally have to take out the scale and just work with it as you go along. And this is what takes designing so long, because we, you know, it's not like a computer we sit down at and we scan it and we walk away. We're hands-on with the project from the moment you give it to us to the moment we give it back to you. So you see, now we've got, but you know, that kind of looks plain. Can we do anything different with that? Let's see if we can add some kind of pizzazz. Okay. Let's add a graphite pencil look to that. Okay, so now I'm kind of feeling this. And we've got what it would be close to a stamp. So let's do all of this, including this, and this, and this. Pretty much everything on the, yeah. We'll make it a group. Okay. Then we'll add a stamp overlay to it. I actually want to ungroup this, and I'll tell you why we're doing that. Because the tail of the phoenix is showing on the outside, which means the ellipse is in front of the phoenix, which is not what we wanted. So we want to put the phoenix up here. It should let the phoenix go behind it. But for some reason it's not going behind, which is okay. And then we'll go ahead and take the ellipse, and we'll make a new layer. Call it a layer 2. And we'll put the ellipse in there. And we'll put the phoenix on there. So there we have it. A nice group with the stamp. Now let's take this whole group It's like, wait a minute, that's too big. Yes, it is. Nice. Now we got a brand. It works with the flag. What we need to put a name here. Well, one name comes to mind for sure. One of our greatest entertainers. Okay. So that's her name, and it looks good in black. Here's the thing though, it's too big, so I'd say let's take it down to 175. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we have to make it fit the pennant. Don't even worry about erasing the pennant. We still got to skew this sucker. Nice. Oh. Every so often we slip and hit the wrong key and things don't go quite the way we want them to. Let's just go back and do it again. So we're going to move this off screen for a second, and we're going to do the same exact thing we did here before. Make a hole in this pennant. Okay. And we're just going to get rid of that. Whoa, don't come too close to the edge. No matter how crappy your cutouts are, by the way, because you can always fill them in. I'm just going to go here. And we're going to take the little eyedropper, pick that, go back, fill it again and again and again until we don't see it anymore. Okay. Now remember, we originally started with just a photo, and then we did some modifications to that. Then we found a pennant. We're modifying that. So as you can see, things will constantly change in the designing arena. We'll go from something being very simple to being very advanced very fast. So it's just important to know that when we're designing this stuff, that the amount of time that goes into just getting it just right for you, before you see the actual product, we've already gone through it and done numerous changes. We sometimes sit on a spot and just poke at different designs for hours, just trying to find the right design. And most companies will throw like one design together and say, okay, that's good, and then they're done. We're not that, we don't work that way. We want, it's not gonna, for us, if it's not gonna work for you, it's not gonna work for us. We're certainly not gonna charge, our client if it doesn't look right. All right, so there we have it. Sexy Scholar. Now, the cool thing about this is we can now save this file, which you'll see we do a ton of saving, by the way. Even if we make a small change, we'll call this college pennant name modified Phoenix Rising, and we'll save it to our design desktop so we can come back and change it later. So that's it. The pennant is done. Next step is to group everything together and copy it to our CDO picture. Okay, on the college dorm room, and we're going to paste it in. I'm just going to take this and as you can kind of see, it doesn't really look very good this way, but what you have to realize is that this picture is just beyond ginormous. Let's look at this picture at 100%. See the difference? It's really clear and crisp. We're viewing it at 19%. So we will probably later on, not in this tutorial, or this, you should say this video, we'll probably play with that a little bit more to get the sizes down. But right now, we're focused on just getting this done. We'll go back to the college pennant, and we'll go to Sexy Scholar's name, which, by the way, once we ungroup the text, is completely editable. We can change that name at will to say whatever we want it to say. We can modify the text size. Because Paige obviously had a bigger first name than Scholar did. And we'll just move it down a little bit. so it lines up nicely. And it's still a little crooked, but we can fix that. Bring out the old skew tool here. Put that here. Okay, it's lining up a lot better. And we'll just bring it down in size just a little bit more. That's close enough for me anyway. Back to the CDO. And we want to make it look a little more even, so we'll go ahead and get the measurements here. 1490 was 105. That was what? 105 and 1985. What's this one at? $1985 and 2020. Okay, so that's good. So now we have our two girls, and just in case we'll be having more people come on later, so what we'll do is we'll make another flag, and we'll take out the name, and we'll place it in the spot here. And we'll probably want to bring up a grid line just to make sure. It depends. I mean, it really depends on how critical you need to be. We often will check with guides and rulers just to make sure that we're even. We use our little guideline here. It's good. It's not, it's right there where it should be. So now we've got a nice picture. It says, "Welcome to the future home of the college dorm room." We've got some pennants with our logo. And what we're going to do is we're going to find a little Facebook icon. As you can see, we've got no shortage in Facebook icons. Facebook has become quite the legend. But we need one that works for us. Something that's going to fit for the college dorm room. It doesn't have to be anything special. I mean, we spent a lot of time trying to figure like this will work. So okay, that's an ICO file. We can't use that. So now we found a cool little beacon, I guess you could call it. Beaker, college little beaker. It's a PNG, which is what we wanted in the first place, so we're not going to spend a ton of time trying to figure that out. We'll just import it, see how it looks. If it doesn't work, we can always trash it and go to something different. Alright, all that's left now is to put a silly little typing in here, and as you can see, we're not going to use no fancy college text. I'm going to use a straight Arial. And we're just going to basically give the picture a position. Just so we have the a legal positioning here. So we're just going to write P Phoenix Rising, enter. All right. And actually, I've decided against doing that because of the. It doesn't really make sense to put legal text on a picture when we can just put it below it on the web page. So we're gonna. So now we have our picture. Let's see here. It looks okay. I mean, it's not going to be there forever. It's just a place marker. So let's save the picture. All right, so we saved it. Okay, the picture is saved. Now the next step is to add it to the website. Now, normally we would take it to our content management system, but since we didn't build a site yet and we just have this graphic, then we need to take it to Dreamweaver, which is another powerful application on the Adobe Suite that we use. So let's actually go to our suite of listing here. We'll launch Dreamweaver, which is a web HTML design application. More for code than it is for pictures, but let Dreamweaver load. Okay, Dreamweaver is up and running. We're just going to create a new HTML page. Don't worry about any of the fancy code. That's something we do later. Right now, we just want to concentrate on getting the basic page. So here we can see we've got our basic page, nothing special. We're probably going to want to change the title around. There we go. Okay, that way we have the page. So now that's what our page would be called. Now in the body of the page is where we're going to insert our image. And we have a place already on the web for our graphics. It's our parking lot, so to speak, digital parking lot. And we just go down and look for the picture that we selected, which is right here. And we say OK to the picture. Don't worry about alternative text. And here comes the picture. And as I told you, it's quite large. So we basically will just use our zooming capabilities here. So there's our picture on the page. I personally we don't use Dreamweaver as much as we used to, obviously. we're now into content management. Dreamweaver to us as a design is more of a hindrance. We used to be able to do some great things with it, but it's kind of gone down the road. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a little copyright header there. Insert a text object. So that we can go back through. So I've gone back to, we're doing a fireworks edit inside of Dreamweaver, fireworks edit inside of Dreamweaver to add a hotspot because I forgot about the little Facebook link that we had. So here we make that. And then the link is just going to be and then that's just, we put down the link and the target will be self, same page, since we don't need them to stay on that. And once we're done, we hit done. Just needed to make that small adjustment. Now, like I said, we don't use Dreamweaver anymore, so we could go back and forth trying to hotspot this thing or fix it, whatever, but we've got what we needed here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cheat, and we're just going to make the entire image linkable. And now that that's all done, you'll notice that the page is not appearing anymore. So we need one more thing that we do a lot here at Technology Bytes, is we work with FTP, which is File Transfer Protocol. It's just a simple way for us to get files back and forth in mass, and sometimes we're dealing with tons of files. So now that we have the file, as you can see, we're linking it to a place that doesn't technically exist. So we'll load up our file client on this machine. Alright, and here we have FileZilla, which tracks pretty much everything we've got going on. We just kind of log into our server here. Okay. And we'll go down to the parking area. And we will find the file we just linked. Make sure that we have the right file there. Yep, that's the right one. And we'll place it in the parking area. Okay, it's in the parking area. Now we will go back out of this and we will look for the I think it's My Sexy University that we, or is it, oh, it might be CDO. CDR, there it is, CDR. That's actually the college dorm room, okay. And this is where we put the index file that people are going to call when they come to actually look at the page. They'll land here. So if I've done this right, we can now go to our browser. We'll ignore this. This is just tests. These don't count. Go back here to My Sexy University and refresh the screen. And no picture. Okay. That's okay. Let's find out why that didn't load. Oh, I know why. So we'll save the file again as index.html. We'll go back to FileZilla. We'll refresh the local directory, which is now changed with the code. We're going to upload it and overwrite it to the target. Then we're going to go back and we're going to refresh. And there you go. The college dorm room live on the web, and they can click the link to go to where they want to go. As you can see, Dreamweaver, Fireworks, FTP clients, research. There's a lot that goes into making making a website or making design. And I hope this has been very informative for you to watch if you haven't fallen asleep. As you can see, there was quite a bit involved in this, but sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. It just depends on the site. But that's how it's done. So yeah, thank you for watching and listening, and talk to you later.